Hi, my name is Tony and welcome to UAP. Today, I want to show you how to get to Area 51 and I'm going to try and convince you that you should go to Area 51 even if you're not a fan of extraterrestrials. Area 51, the secret military base that didn't exist until one day it did. The hidden base was revealed to the world by Las Vegas reporter George Knapp in 1989. He broke the story with the help of Bob Lazar, a physicist who claimed to be working at Area 51 reverse engineering an alien spacecraft. Lazar claimed the U.S. had 8 alien spacecrafts in its possession. Over the years, it has been rumored the U.S. military is working in collaboration with alien races such as the Greys. Now, this is Area 51, a place you want to go, a place where the use of deadly force is authorized. Nice. All right, so if you're going to go to Area 51, there are certain safety precautions that you should take. First, make sure your ride is reliable. You're driving out to the middle of nowhere. And in a lot of these areas, there's not going to be any phone coverage. So you're not going to want to break down in the middle of nowhere because it could be very hard to get some help. Also, make sure you have a spare tire and know where your jack is. Or get a can of Fix-A-Flat. If you're going to go out in the evening time, make sure you have a good flashlight. You might need it for signaling. Okay, so you're about to leave to head towards Area 51. And so my last bit of advice to you before you leave is to use 2 different GPS apps on your phone. The first app, look what I did right here. I am plotting a route that starts in Las Vegas. It goes to the black mailbox, and then my route ends in Rachel, Nevada. And once you put that in your GPS, hit go, and then don't touch it. Because, let's say 60 miles down the road, you want to amend it. Well, there may not be phone service, and suddenly you've lost your directions. You've lost your GPS to Rachel, Nevada. So before you leave Vegas, make sure you have one GPS app that's showing you how to get to the black mailbox and then on to Rachel, Nevada. And finally, on the second GPS app, I want you to just put in Area 51 and then drop a pin right there. Don't ask it for directions to Area 51 because it's not going to let you. So just open up that second GPS app, put in Area 51, drop a pin, and then leave it alone. And that's going to help you later. It's just being extra cautious, but it'll give you peace of mind that you're moving in the right direction, and I'll explain that later. Okay, so for most people making their way to Area 51, it's probably going to start in Vegas due to the close proximity. Make sure you start your trip early. I'd personally leave no later than 9 a.m. If you're heading to Area 51 in the summer, definitely hit the road by 7 a.m. Also, drive straight to Rachel, Nevada, and then work your way back to Vegas. The distance, according to Google Maps, from Vegas to Rachel is 147 miles. That's approximately 2 hours and 12 minutes of driving. As you're making that drive towards Rachel, keep an eye out for that black mailbox. It's going to be on your left side as you're making your way to the small town of Rachel. I mentioned that I was going to show you how to get to Area 51, but I also said I was going to convince you why you need to go or why you should go. And this place right here, the little alien inn, is a why. This is one reason why you should make the trek to Area 51, because you get to stop at this cool little place. It's a restaurant, it's a bar, it's a motel, and it is a place that most people that make the pilgrimage to Area 51 stop by for a meal. The outside of the place has a lot of cool props for your photo ops. But my favorite place was the restaurant. The people there, the locals, were really nice. The owner, she was super nice. And then while we were eating our lunch, and by the way, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But while we were eating, in the table next to us was a lady who was on the same trek as us. And it was just nice. And we invited her over to our table. We sat down with her. She was from Oregon. And we're from Texas, and it was just 3 people that would have never met. It was pretty nice. Now, I was looking at the website, and it looks like they made a change to their schedule. They're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, and so keep that in mind when you decide to make your trek. That you look at their website and see if there have been any changes to the business schedule. Okay, let's talk about getting to Area 51 back gate. So you leave the little alien, and you're going to make this right-hand turn. You're going to pass the Alien Cowpoke Gas and General Store. And then the very next right-hand turn is where you're going to turn. Now, I wanted to zoom this out so you can get an idea how far it is to the back gate from Rachel, from the little alien. And there it is right there. So you get it here. You're going to follow this road all right here. And 10.4 miles later, you arrive at the Area 51 back gate. So let me zoom in so you can see what it looks like. You definitely don't want to go any further than right there. You go any further than that, you're asking for trouble. I think I forgot to mention that once you make that right-hand turn on Extraterrestrial Highway, that 10.4 miles is a dirt road. So I hope you don't get stuck, which is why I made sure I told you to make sure you have a spare tire, you have a jack, or you have the Fix-A-Flat. All right, so you're going to drive all the way there, and you'll know when you're at the very end when you see this, and you see the signs warning you. And so this is a picture that my wife took when we were at Area 51 in March. And so it was raining that day. There was some sleet on the ground also. So that's why you're seeing that image. So that's the way it looks. And that's as close as we can get. It was pretty cool because there was a family that was there in front of us. And I got close enough when we were making that turn to move away from Area 51, and I saw the kids, and they were so excited to be there, and so it was really cool. Okay, so you're done with the back gate, and you're on your way to the front gate, and as you're moving towards Vegas, you already have it in your GPS. You know where the black mailbox is, and that's where you're heading. So right here on this map, here's Extraterrestrial Highway 375. And you're going to make this right-hand turn, and it is going to be, this one is my favorite for the both of us, me and my wife. This one just was a little bit more spookier. It's longer. It is 14.5 miles from the highway. So you're on this dirt road. You don't know where you're going, and you're going off-road for almost 15 miles. It was exciting. I'm going to zoom in just a little. You follow this road, but let's go over here too much. There it is. Okay, so I stopped around right here. I didn't even want to put this checkpoint anywhere. I didn't want to be able to even see it because I was just afraid that we were going to cross a line we weren't supposed to cross. I mean, we saw a sign, and that sign was confusing, and I wasn't in the mood for an anal probe, so I stayed in front of that first sign I saw. All right, this is what the black mailbox looks like. Sometimes it's there, and sometimes it's not. Someone will show up, like it, take it away, and then there won't be anything there for a while, but then someone will show up and replace it, and it'll be there for a while. It was there the day I was there. All right, so in this picture, this is us. We just turned off the paved highway, 375 Extraterrestrial Highway, and this is what the road looks like. You have to drive almost 15 miles before you get to Area 51 front gate. This is what driving to Area 51 front gate looks like. This one, as I mentioned earlier, this was my favorite gate to get to. The surface is softer, and it had been raining that day. We were sliding to the left and to the right. Thankfully, we were in my 4x4, so I wasn't really too concerned. about getting stuck. I actually did get lost for a short bit of time on the way to the front gate, but that's why I told you to, when you get out there, make sure that you pinpoint where Area 51 is, because even though I got lost for a short amount of time, I just had to look on my phone and see, was I moving in that general direction? And as long as I was moving towards that general direction, I knew I was going to find what I was looking for. Okay, this is where we stopped at the front gate when we saw this sign. It clearly says what will happen if you cross that line, but that first paragraph is open for suggestion. But I wanted to err on the side of caution, so we stopped right there. There they are. They were watching us. And the interesting thing about that was when there was a point where I told you that I got lost, and we saw a truck in the distance moving our way, and then in relief I said, okay, we're heading in the right direction, but then that truck never passed us. And so we both thought that was curious until we got to the front gate, and then we realized it was the camo dudes, and when they saw us coming, they quickly turned around and got on that ridge so they could watch us. Overall, it was a good trip. I'm glad I made it. But when we first started heading that way, I was making excuses to my wife why it wasn't going to be that exciting. Because I knew I wasn't going to see any UFOs or aliens. It was just me, the UFO enthusiast, saying, I just want to go. And so I was making excuses to her to lower her expectations. But then when we got to Rachel, it changed because we met some good people. We had some good conversations. It was fun. And then we made it, when we started going off-road in the middle of nowhere, I was a little concerned. I mean, I was having a good time. There was a little bit of rush to it, hoping that nothing happened to my truck and that we would make it back to the highway safely. And then when we went to the front gate and we saw the camo dudes, and suddenly it was like, wow, I'm really here. I'm at the place where all these documentaries are always at. And it was exciting. So if you're in Vegas and you don't want to go to that next Vegas show, I would recommend going to Area 51. They have the coolest gift shop you've ever seen on the way there. It's called the Alien Research Center, and you got to go there. It's probably by far the best alien gift shop I've ever seen. Your kids will get a rush out of it. Your boyfriend, your husband is going to love this. So I recommend you go. All right. So this is Tony, and I want to say thank you for watching my video. If you like it, subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it very much.